Hi, I'm Ellie from Russia. I come from quite a chilly country where in winter everything can freeze to stone. If you don't have a hammer, you have a banana. But did you know that the coldest capital in the world isn't located in Russia and not even in Canada or in Scandinavian countries? So where is it? Even though Mongolia is located south of Russia, winters here are colder than in Siberia due to a higher altitude. This makes Ulaanbaatar the coldest capital city in the world. Not many people travel here in winter, but I want to have a hardcore experience and to try a traditional Mongolian plunge in an unfrozen river and to try staying in a tent in the middle of nowhere at -40°C. But let's start from the beginning. I was greeted at the Genghis Khan airport with a Mongolian tradition, drinking milk. I will have to drink a lot of it during this trip. Once we got in Ulaanbaatar, we were stuck in a traffic jam. It's a common thing here. I've never seen such busy and chaotic traffic. It's so crazy that sometimes the city is completely blocked and cars can't move. The reason is that the city wasn't really planned out. This is a nomadic city. It was moved at least 21 times before settling at its current location in 1778. Nomads set up their yurts here, and then buildings started to appear near these yurts. Unbelievably, there are people still living in yurts inside of the city just next to skyscrapers, and nomadic herders keep settling in yurts on the outskirts. I'm now in Gyr district. Basically, it's considered as a slum of Ulaanbaatar, where poorer family lives in gyrs. It's like a Mongolian yurt. They really don't like when it's called a yurt, so I will just say they live in gyr. Sometimes they have both a house and a gyr, but in winter it's much warmer in gyr, so they stay there and not in a house. And just like in Siberia in Russia, here they also cover a car with a special insulation material. It's like a portable garage which keeps your car warm and it doesn't freeze completely. And as usual, when I'm told that some district is super dangerous and you shouldn't go there, it turns out to be just fine. Overall, I was told that Mongolia is dangerous. So far, I don't feel that. The biggest danger is probably pollution. During winter, Ulaanbaatar becomes the most polluted capital city in the world. Now the population of Ulaanbaatar is approaching 1.5 million people, which is, by the way, is almost half of the country's population. And a significant part of city's residents live in yurts and wooden sheds on the outskirts. With the temperature down to -40°C in winter, stoves in yurts must be heated non-stop. And a brown coal has a high ash content that creates heavy toxic smoke. The situation is aggravated by the fact that Ulaanbaatar is located between high hills and even the wind doesn't help from the smog. So a blanket of a thick smog hangs over the capital of Mongolia constantly. Smog leads to massive pulmonary disease of the population and an increase in oncology. So maybe it's time for me to go outside of the city. We set off to one of the biggest Buddhist centers in Mongolia, about 360 kilometers northwest of Ulaanbaatar. Where are we now?
We are in the middle of nowhere.
The monastery is remote from big cities and it is very off the beaten path. And our plan is to reach it and camp there. But at first we arrived at somewhere in steppes for a lunch.
we are gonna eat plunge, which is like a tea with dumplings in it, but it also has like meat, fat.
A moment. Tea with dumplings. Mongolian tea with dumplings.
Yeah, it's like a traditional dish we make.
Why do you make tea with dumplings?
Why not? It's good. We also have like meat inside, and also have like rice and meat, and we also have like this fat.
For the first time I will eat pelmeni with tea.
Yes.
Dumpling is really good. Actually, I realized that I ate something similar in my childhood. We eat milk soup in kindergarten, and when you're a child, our parents always make us eat milk soup with noodles. So this is remind me of this milk soup, but with pelmeni. Milk tea with dumplings. Why not? It was really, really, really good. So after the meal, you don't have to drink tea because we've already had.
You already had tea.
Tea with dumplings.
Yeah.
Genius. Mongolian landscape ranges from the Altai Mountains to the Gobi Desert. However beautiful the landscape is, the inhospitable weather makes Mongolia a challenging environment to inhabit. In summer, temperatures can rise to +50 Celsius, in winter they plunge to -50. This is the world's largest landlocked country that doesn't border a sea, much of its area is covered by steppe, and with only 2 inhabitants per square kilometer, Mongolia is the most sparsely populated country in the world. Ulaanbaatar is home to roughly half of the country's population, while other lands stay nearly empty. So we drove for hundreds of kilometers in the middle of nothing but steppes and wind until we saw a huge monastery.
За бас багштаа ар халахад өөрөө чинь нутагт би танд нэгэн сайхан ордон хийж байгуулж өгмөр байна багшаа гэж ингэж ам гарч ийсэн.
Right now we are in Amarbayasgalant monastery, and this is a monastery more than a museum. This is 300 years old monastery, and it was destroyed during the Soviet Union's time because in that society they deemed religion was not fit in that society, and they killed all of the monks who lived here, and they destroyed all the gods, all the sculptures and all the mantras and all the books, and this place had nothing inside. It was like 40% of the old monastery was destroyed, and this place was ruined in that time. And in 1990, Bogd Zanaba came and he used almost $10 million to fix this monastery from bottom to top, and he repainted all of this, bring the new gods and sculptured new gods, and he also did the ceilings, and the bone structure of this temple is 300 years old, and they only changed one pillar of these pillars.
It's super cold here, and we came here because now we're gonna camp right outside of a temple in a tent. It's cold even inside of here. So you can see the monastery there, and we're gonna camp right here. Wow, what a technology! This was much faster than I expected. Whoop. Wow! It's so high. Togo brought the heater. Ooh. Very important. It is so warm and cozy here, and this will be my first time to sleep in a tent in winter. I did sleep in a tent in very cold places, like when I was climbing high mountains, but during winter on snow, for me this is the first time. I literally have snow under my bed. This feels like a really unique experience, and it's super cold outside. During a daytime it was -30. At night it's probably -40 Celsius, but here inside the tent it's like a calm, warm island amidst frozen world. It's very nice here. Love this, love this. And the sound of burning woods. And it's just so nice and warm inside here. Good night. Morning in Mongolia starts with kasha. I'm really surprised to see all these Russian products.
This for us is like more like a hot curd drink. It's like similar to that, more than a porridge. It's like a drink that we drink. But for babies, it's a food. Like when we were kids, most of us like grew up like eating this. Like people from my age, especially.
For me, it was very interesting that in Russia we eat it as porridge, and also we grew up on this. It's very common to give this to kids. But I'm surprised to see that you drink it as a drink. What do you use sgущенка for? You call it
Moloko.
молоко.
We know like it's like moloko is like a Russian word for milk, but we still call it like moloko. And like usually we like put it on bread and eat the bread.
It's like back to my childhood.
Yeah, me too.
Are you guys all gonna dip in the river now?
No, like only me.
Isn't it a Mongol tradition?
Yeah, but like nowadays, like not everyone do it. And this is like first time for me as well. We are near the unfrozen river. In Mongolia we call it Hartsneos.
Why is it not frozen? Where it's like -30
Yeah.
today, and I guess most of the winter.
Yes, and during the night it's like -40, and it's not frozen because like it's kind of like a live river, and some part of the rivers don't freeze. And there's a tradition that in Mongolia that we dip in the river in winter.
In the unfrozen.
In the unfrozen river.
What is the temperature of the river, do you think?
It's like around like 1 Celsius.
+1.
Yeah,
Okay.
+1.
So your tradition is to dip in it once?
Dip in it like 3 times.
Ah, so it's like Russian Epiphany Day. We dip 3 times.
Ah, yes. I think it's like kind of similar. Yes.
So you're gonna dip 3 times.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, I'm done.
How do you feel?
Cold.
At night it was -30. Now it's -30 and sunny. It's the best time for a bath. Woo. there is a current. I wish I could swim here, but it's too shallow, so you can just lay on the rocks, just chilling in Mongolian steppes. This is chilling in the steppes. Nice. So 3 times he said. This was 1. 2. 3. It's very refreshing. We made it.
Yes.
Explain me more about this tradition. How often do people do this and why?
So like we do it usually, like there are like people who do it like often, like regularly in the countryside, but like for people who live in this capital, they don't have much chance to do it because it's winter and like you have to like find this, and like not everyone knows how to find this, and the tradition is dying slowly for sure, but still people who does it, like they try to do it like once a winter.
Why do they do this?
So this is like, this boosts your, like shocks your nervous system and like boosts your immune system as well. It's also good like if you're like trying to cut like substance abuse such as like alcohol abuse.
So people who want to give up smoking or alcohol, they do this?
Yes, they do it sometimes, and it shocks your nervous system and it like helps with the detox process.
Yeah, but after this you definitely feel a bit like reborn.
Yes.
Very refreshed, very awake,
Yeah, it, like,
alive.
wakes you up.
You're not in this autopilot mode anymore. You're very, very focused and awake. The winter here is definitely extreme, but I'm happy that I got to visit Mongolia at this particular time. Frozen steppes truly look like a wonderland, so don't let the cold stand in your way. And as a Mongol proverb says, while your father is alive, make as many friends as you can. While your horse is alive, visit as many lands as you can. So join my channel and let's continue exploring.